When I travelled down in the lift with him after last night's game, there was no hint that Alan Mullery had been sacked. After all, his career had ended on a note of victory. The team had just beaten Stoke 2-0. But throughout the game, which was indeed drab, the crowd were yelling for Mullery's blood. And in the end, they got it. What they hadn't forgiven him for was taking over a team built by Terry Venables that finished 5th in the First Division last season. And now the search is on for another manager. And one of the names being canvassed around here is Bobby Campbell, the former Portsmouth and Fulham manager. And another man in the running must be John Hollins, a former Rangers player, now highly successful coach at their deadly rivals, Chelsea.
To hear if he's to be the new manager of Queen's Park Rangers. Q.P.R.'s chairman, Mr. John Gregory, who saw Mr. Revie today, says he'll make an announcement after talks with his directors tomorrow.
If he is signed for the First Division club, it will mark one of the most sensational comebacks in the game. The appointment of Revie after 7 years in virtual exile would be seen as a highly controversial move. His career peaked while at Elland with Leeds, where he helped the club to win 6 major trophies. Later, he got the England manager's job, but walked out in 1977 to sign for the United Arab Emirates, a decision that shook the Football Association. Shortly afterwards, they put a 10-year ban on him. But in 1979, he fought a successful High Court action against the FA and the ban was lifted. Recently, he's worked in Egypt and returned to England only 2 weeks ago.
I never thought I'd go back into a tracksuit again, but this gives me a chance for, what, 5 or 6 months to really find out if I like it again. I've been out of it 7 years, now I'll have a lot to learn about all the First Division players again, but I think it's a very interesting job that I'll look forward to if the talks go all right tonight with Jim Gregory.
Players admitted privately to being shocked at Revie's involvement, but what of his track record?
He was an England manager, wasn't he? I don't know anything about him. I don't know anybody who's trained under him or anything, so...
But obviously you remember him in his heyday.
Oh yeah, obviously, but he had a great side there. It's a different kettle of fish nowadays.
He's going to become the manager of Q.P.R. Well, he was right. Now, have you been getting your crystal ball out and having a look at who will be the manager?
No, I passed actually tonight because, in fact, there are no developments in that everyday story of footballing folk at Q.P.R. today. Coach Frank Sibley takes charge for tomorrow's home game with Everton. Chairman Jim Gregory's meeting with might-be manager Don Revie ended after about 5 minutes in the Heathrow Hotel last night. All that follows Alan Mullery's sacking on Tuesday night. Anyway, Rangers' home game with Everton is the match with the London Plus factor this weekend. So this morning I set off to watch the players arrive. The Queen's Park Rangers players arrived promptly at their ground at 10 this morning to train for tomorrow's game against top-of-the-table Everton. In the main, they were chirpy enough. For professional footballers, the occasional managerial crisis is just another fact of life. But I did wonder how they reacted.
Obviously, it's a little bit of an upset, but I think the players now have got to, now that that manager's gone, and as people were saying, there was a lot of trouble in the camp because of him, they've now got to go out and prove that perhaps it was him that was the problem. And they've got to put up a good performance from now on.
And tomorrow you play top-of-the-table Everton?
Yes, it's a very big game. Mind you, we seem to play a lot better against the top sides. We beat Forest when they were top of the table 3-0 and played really well, and I think we play a lot better against the top sides.
And Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea all coming up. Not the right time not to have a manager.
No, not really. I think they're all hard games this year, so we'll just take everyone as it comes and hope we can get a few points.
As for Everton, they soared to the top of the table this season with performances like these against Chelsea and Liverpool.
Reed in by Bracewell, and Richardson's coming up on the left and coming inside, and that's a good goal. Reed, Stevens looking for Sharp, and he got behind Lawrence, and there did Sharp. What a fantastic goal! An unbelievable finish from Graham Sharp.
As for Rangers, they've found goals hard to get lately, as in this game a month ago against Sheffield Wednesday. They seem to create the chances all right, but they're just unable to put them away. But they did put 2 away against Stoke on Tuesday night, so maybe their luck is on the turn. And when the opposition do get away, as here, there's always Peter Hucker in goal to save them. Great save, and I tell you what, I reckon Rangers will win tomorrow.
Know as much about Q.P.R. as long-standing fan and London Plus sports correspondent Michael Whale. He's down at the ground now.
Well, the lights are on here behind me at Queen's Park Rangers tonight because there's the annual general meeting and also a youth cup match between Q.P.R and Brentford. But meanwhile, the chairman, Jim Gregory, he's away somewhere in London meeting Don Revie to decide whether he should become the next manager. And that decision really came about very oddly because the journalists met Jim Gregory in the boardroom the other night just after he sacked Alan Mullery and said, well, you know, Don Revie, he's available for a job. And so Jim Gregory got in touch with him. Of course, Jim is a very mercurial man, so you never quite know. And even at this point, there are men in the boardroom at Q.P.R who'd say that Don Revie will not become manager here.